The W557. The most powerful Walkinshaw upgrade ever created. But just how do we create this modern classic muscle car here at the Horsepower Factory? Let's take a deep dive into the HPF workshop and find out. The W557 comes with an upgraded smaller drive pulley to increase boost, and to fit this there is a bit of a process. To get this done we must first remove the supercharger from the engine itself, so firstly it's off with the supercharger lid. Once the lid has been taken off we can then remove the supercharger assembly itself. With the supercharger removed, we now take off the intake snout. Using a special tool, we then remove the pressed-on standard pulley. Having by now fitted many W557 packages here at HPF, one thing had come to our attention, and that was a wear issue on the pulley shaft caused by the standard spring-loaded drive coupling isolator, shown here on the right. We remedied this issue by fitting the solid isolator on the left, which removes contact with the shaft. It's now off with the cylinder heads, as on this particular car we will be replacing the valve lifters due to the amount of kilometres this particular engine has done. Now it's time to remove the standard camshaft and replace it with the Walkinshaw W557 spec cam. This process is done extremely carefully so as not to damage the cam bearings in the engine. The new cam is inserted with lubrication on each of the bearing journals so that on initial startup everything is good to go. When fitting a camshaft with a more aggressive profile, the valve train should be upgraded to match, and that is why the W557 upgrade comes with new heavy-duty valve springs. These are removed once again using a special tool. It's a tedious process, but one that must be done carefully and accurately, with great care taken not to mark the spring or the valve. Once the valve springs are installed and the camshaft is in place, it's back on with the cylinder heads. The new, smaller supercharger pulley is now carefully pressed onto the snout. In goes the solid coupling we showed you earlier, and then the snout is fitted back onto the supercharger assembly. To make more power you need more fuel, and to feed more fuel to the engine we need to upgrade the standard injectors to much higher flowing versions. The fuel rail is then fitted onto the supercharger assembly, which is then in turn fitted back onto the engine. With the top lid back in place and a new cold air intake fitted, we can now move under the car and fit the exhaust system, which is exclusive to Walkinshaw. Comprising of 1 3/4 inch 4x1 primaries and 3-inch 200 cell high flow catalytic converters, these then mate to a 2.5 inch catback system, which reduces exhaust drone to a minimum without sacrificing any power. The rear mufflers do not come with bimodal valves, but these can be retrofitted at an additional small cost. With the car all back together and up and running, it's now time to go onto the dyno and custom tune all the upgrades that have been fitted. The result is a road-churning 557 flywheel kilowatt at 6200 RPM and a mountain pulling 930 Newton meters of torque at 4000 RPM. For more information on the W557 as well as all other Walkinshaw upgrades, visit us at hp-f.com.au or call us on 1800-GO-FAST. Nobody knows performance like Walkinshaw, and nobody knows Walkinshaw like the Horsepower Factory.